What sort of qualities are you going to bring to this election?
Well, what I would like to do is have it very open. I'm not involved in any group, except of course the Ratepayers Association, which you reported on, and you're entitled to your reports, and others are entitled to what they want to say and express. I've been interested in local government for quite a long time on the outside, but never had the time to get involved. Now that I do have the time, I've been spending the last 18 months attending council meetings and seeing the process and seeing what's going on. I've always liked the idea of getting onto council, but one of the things that I thought when I went along to the first couple of meetings was that it would be a great idea if, with all these reality programs happening, if the council meeting was actually recorded. So I initially put that, as I was involved with the local community radio station, and I put that to council, but unfortunately councillors, as a majority, voted against the idea, not only in having it recorded, because I did say I was going to edit it, and I think that scared them a little bit, but I have no intention of trying to make anyone look bad. It was more a case of giving council meetings to the people, those people that don't get the opportunity to go along, those that don't want to go along, those that don't want to be seen there. There's very few people that go along to council. There's an attitude by the Australian public that council meetings are a waste of time, or they're this and that. But I just strongly felt that this was giving the local community an opportunity to hear what goes on.
You've mentioned in an email to us today that you think that council meetings should actually be streamed live on the internet.
Yep, and I still stand by that. And the idea, Derek, is so that people can actually see what's going on. They're getting the information secondhand. And it's important that by all means we have the media to report what goes on in society, but I think now with the internet and with the national broadband coming, this is the area that's going to grow. They were talking about it back in the year 2000, it was way too early. It's now starting to happen. And it then will also hopefully stop councillors going to the media and using the media to expose their feelings, their ego in some cases, instead of fighting it out in the chamber. Well, not fighting, fighting's the wrong word, discussing it, debating it in the chamber.
You're standing for truth and transparency. What else? What are the other? What do you want to do on Orange City Council?
Look, I know it sounds passé to say, you know, it's the basics, but I really do feel that it's the basics that council really need to get back to. The transport industry, or logistics as they tend to call it, is a huge area, and the roads need to be, you're not going to have a railway line going here, there and everywhere. Railway lines have been closed. We have a huge country. It's just never going to happen. It's been talked about and talked about. The idea of having a huge airport and parks so that stuff could be transported there and then go on overseas. It just is talk, talk, talk. Let's get back to the roads and fix the roads and make sure the roads are superb, or at least reasonable, considering the amount of cars that are on the road. I make just a mental judgment as I drive or push bike around Orange and parts, but particularly around Orange. It's amazing the amount of people who travel and they are only themselves in the car. And yes, I do it, but I try to use my push bike as often as I can. I'd like to see us doing that. Council are talking about having a multi-storey car park. If people aren't prepared to walk an extra 10 minutes when they do their shopping, if they really need to drive downtown in their car to get a video, I don't know why they can't use a push bike. There should be more people with scooters. We need to get back to the roads. They're the basics.
You say that you're standing as an independent, and yet you also say that there may be others from the Orange Ratepayers Association that will stand with you, presumably on a ticket. Do you think your association with the association is going to affect your success in this?
Yes, no doubt, no doubt. The let's call spades spades. The negativity that's been in the air isn't going to go away. It's a case of people trying to get along with each other, and they need to stick with the facts, stick with what's actually happening. People who lie or make up stories or exaggerate, that's the last that we need. I'm firm on being independent, even though it's with a group. Unfortunately, the above-the-line voting is something that the Electoral Commission has. It's out of our hands, and until the public actually, and I'm against it, but unfortunately, if you want to win, you need to be involved in this sort of process or have such a high profile in your community so that you can be up there on your own and be independent. And to do that, I would have had to have been involved in a lot of community groups over the years and probably seen the media and had my photo in the media much more often than I have in the past. I think it's only been about once and a few letters. But just over the last 10 years, some of the things that council have done I'd have to disagree with. I know that you vote people in and then they will have their agenda, and then others get voted in and they have their agenda, like the pool, etc. And now we've got this pipeline issue. Yet 2 elections ago we were talking about Summer Park Dam and raising the wall, and that just went by the wayside. Things seem to go by the wayside. We're forever dealing with now rather than having some long and short-term plans.
But do you think you can change that? I mean, realistically, things do go by the wayside in local government politics, as in state government politics and federal government politics.
It doesn't have to, though. I don't know why it does. It's you know why? No, I do know why. It's about compromising. It's about constant compromising and mellowing to whoever the interest group is at the moment. People lose their sense of this is what we agreed to do and this is what we're going to do. But suddenly I'm going to lose my vote. So what's more important? Is it the principle and the thing that you're going to do that you've been involved with, or is it more about keeping power? Because if I haven't got power, then we're not going to do it. Well, yes, that's true, but the principle, what you're going to do, is far more important than whether you're in or out of power, because the power is redundant. You can have the power outside the organisation if the principle is right.
You're not on the executive of the Ratepayers Association. The others that are likely to stand up and run with you are definitely on the executive of the Ratepayers Association, which presumably would create a conflict of interest. Will they have to resign their positions on the executive of the ORA in order to run with you?
When you say it's contrary or a conflict, I disagree. I cannot understand why you cannot be a member of a group and not stand on council. Pam Allen was a member of a group that wanted to have the aquatic centre, and there'll be people who will say when it's finished that it's fabulous. I was against it, and when I worked in the media we debated the issue amongst ourselves, and there were others who were quite heated about agreeing with it. So she got on council and we now have an aquatic centre. I don't, if with a ratepayer association though, a strong ratepayer association is concerned with the local, with everything regarding the local community, not just one aspect. So I cannot see why there is a conflict of interest if you have people on the executive or members of the Ratepayers Association standing for council, so long as that they are there to ensure they're going to look at all the issues. Now the executive, as you mentioned, they will need to step down as we have a new AGM or an AGM coming up in a month's time, so that will be prior to the election. And at the last meeting, and as you've reported, and it's, nothing is hidden, that there are not that many people of the 66 members that the association have who go along to these admin type meetings. So therefore, but at that meeting with those few members, they decided at the last meeting that anyone who was on the executive should not run for council. But that may change when the new executive goes in at the next AGM. So, but yeah, as I say, and I won't have, to answer your question, I won't have a conflict of interest with those people on the executive, because the association, as I've mentioned, should be about the total issues of Orange City Council. It shouldn't be about just, you know, personal issues or little other issues. Yeah, look, it's a hard one. It's a difficult one. It's not easy for me to go out on my own, but I thought I'd go with a group, and until it is shown to me that those that are involved are not worthy or are not, people that should be voted at a civic level, that has to be proven to me, because I find I get along with these people very well.